Greetings and welcome back everyone. If you like these daily crypto analysis videos, hit the like button and subscribe. Please share these videos with your friends to help the channel grow. I'm Crypto Snake, back again to discuss some Bitcoin analysis. So for this video, I want to lay out what I think the magic number is for Bitcoin. And by the magic number, I mean the absolute bottom of this new higher low of this downward trend from this small bull rally. But first, let's dive into some technical analysis before I give out my price targets. Now on the daily chart, the 63.88 support has been broken, indicating that we are very likely to ride down to this next support level at 62.96. And for those of you who haven't watched my support and resistance video, when a price breaks through moving in a bullish trend, a previous resistance becomes support, and vice versa. When we're going down in a downwards trend, a previous support level, which means the price would bounce up from there, if it breaks through, it actually becomes resistance and has trouble breaking back up through that price level. So as I said, we did break through the 63.88 support level, and I have opened a short order targeting the 62.92 level. And one thing I want to note on the daily here is the SAR, which is again the parabolic SAR, is a measurement of the overall trend of the coin. So we're still moving in a bullish pattern even though the price is dipping. We did get heavily separated from the daily Kijun-sen with the Ichimoku cloud system, and obviously we had a pullback to level off at the average of this Kijun-sen, and we're now overcorrecting under, very likely to bounce back up to this daily Kijun-sen eventually. But one thing to note here is that on the RSI, we did actually break through this historic support at 45, and we're still very likely to downtrend to that 40 level. Now, while I do think the price will return back to this daily Kijun-sen and possibly move bullish for the rest of the year from here, I still believe we're very likely to hit the magic number that I'll lay out here shortly, forming the new higher low of this trend. So moving down to the 4-hour chart, the Kijun-sen is still descending on the 4-hour chart. We're still fairly separated from it, but at the moment it is descending after having a bearish TK crossover, which my VIPs took advantage of not one but two trades for around 25% gains, both shorting and longing on the bull trap. And on the 4-hour chart, the RSI is actually nearing the 30 level, which would normally give a nice bounce. We did actually see a very slight bounce up here before eventually breaking back down. Now, the reason that I don't think this 30 level is as significant for a resurgence, and I don't think that we're going to bounce up from this current price, is the history of Bitcoin. So if you look back in the chart, you can see, okay, well, we did bounce off the 30 here. This was actually the beginning of the big manipulation area. This was a big manipulation dump mixed with some manipulation candles moving up. So this entire area I kind of disqualify from this theory. But if we actually look back in the historical charting, the RSI level almost consistently strikes down to the 20 level before going for a massive resurgence. We struck it down to the 6180 level before rallying up to the 6550. Now if we move back further in the chart, again we had a strike down here before going on this nice bull rally, another strike down through the RSI here before going on a massive bull rally, another one here, rally, another one here, rally, short rallies on the falls here as soon as we fell through that RSI level, rallying up, and again back here, striking through, rallying up, striking through, rallying up for short term. Now obviously this isn't always consistent as we are in a bear trend, so sometimes these little pumps are eventually followed by a fall, but it seems to be that the level 20 area on the RSI of the 4-hour is the actual catalyst for a lot of these pumps. So I will be targeting the price level around the 20 RSI for my magic number. But before I get on with my technical analysis here and give you guys some price targets, if you'd like to join my free Telegram for insights on the market, including Bitcoin, altcoins, and a sneak peek of my personal entries and exits, join t.me/cryptosnakepit. Links directly to the chat and a link on how to install Telegram, which is a free chat program I use to communicate with my VIPs, in the description below. We've also been pulling some savage gains this month in the VIP group. You can see a preview of the gains we've made this month, and right now I'm getting geared up for some massive gains for the next bull run. I've given out a list of potentially discount altcoins I plan to ride for the bull run to my VIPs, as well as some hot altcoin swing positions every week. If you want information on how to get into the VIP group to be part of these trades, the information is also in the description below. So in order to find this magic number for Bitcoin to stop, to form a new higher low for Bitcoin, we have to look at the established trends so far. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my drawing tool here and clear out some of these indicators so we can see the actual chart. Alright, so as I laid out in the market cycle video, the market cycle is normally formed by a gigantic bubble and then a pop, which normally downtrends for about 3 small rallies before hitting the absolute lowest low. So we did hit this lowest low back here at 58.26. And since then, we've been posting higher lows. So this small rally here posted another higher low around the 6,000 level. We have posted another higher low here at the 6150. And again, we have posted another higher low at the 6230 area. So now with this trend established of higher lows, where do I think this next price target is going to be? If we break down below this previous low, that would essentially break this cycle of the higher lows of the market cycle, and if we broke it, it would mean that the bull run is still very, very far away. Personally, I think the bull run is going to be starting very soon. So I think the actual next lowest low and my magic number right now and target price lies around the 62.90 support, which will be around here. This 62.90 support would continue with this obviously higher lows, and it marks a pretty heavy historic support zone where we have rebounded multiple times before. Now, as for the overall market psyche right now, the market itself and a lot of the proclaimed experts believe that we are going to hit somewhere between the 6,200 to 5,800 area. Now, that price target area is still possibly in play if you discount this entire area as manipulation. Now, that is possible. Again, we did see a lot of market manipulation here and a lot of market manipulation here and here. So if you were to discount that, I could see the upper 6,200s actually being the new lower low. But I don't think we're going to strike down to 5,800 anymore. I think we actually are on the verge of the new bull rally. I think the new low is going to be around 62.90 support. And if we flip back to the other chart, this is marked with the support line at the 62.90, around that price range. Somewhere around here is going to be the bottom, I believe. And this is also where I am targeting for my shorts. Now, just flipping these indicators back on, I want to go down to the 1 hour chart. So far, Bitcoin has been respecting this 1 hour Kijun-sen. We've been continually coming right back to it, sticking with it, riding down. At the moment, it is still downtrending, but I am expecting this to break down and continue this trend with the SAR moving bearish down to this next support level at 62.90 before eventually resurging and possibly testing the daily cloud once more. And if we go and take a look at the Heikin Ashi, which is the measurement of the money flowing in and out of the market, you see that we are still pumping money out of the market, even though we are moving green on this candle, which if we flip back to the candles, you'll see that. So this candle is green, or what's known as a bull trap. And back on the Heikin Ashi, we still are actually losing money from the market. It's just a simple correction back up because the price fell too fast. If we go to the 4 hour chart, you can see this is entirely red all the way down. As for the overall market cap today, we dropped down about $25 billion since that peak. We are now at $206 billion. The altcoin market is getting absolutely destroyed. I did tether a lot of my positions as I expected this dump to continue once we broke out of the ascending triangle and the bearish wedge as it fell to around this area around the TK crossover. I did actually tether my positions, and I do intend to buy back into Bitcoin somewhere around the 62.90 area or below. As for Bitcoin dominance has again resurged up to 54%, 53, 54%, tested that area. Again, this has less to do with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin has basically been plateauing with the actual dominance. What happened obviously is if we look down here at Ripple fell from 10% down to 8%. So this small loss here and the loss on altcoins did actually prop Bitcoin dominance up once more. Now, if we go to the news over at CoinDesk, there's a bearish article implying that we are actually breaking down from this position. They've also drawn a pennant here on the daily chart, which would indicate that we are going to form another higher low, somewhere around that magic number, possibly a little lower than my target price. They believe this pennant pattern could possibly open the doors for a retest of the June low of 57.55. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to establish another higher low, as it fits into the overall market cycle a little bit better than their pennant. And again, their pennant that they've drawn out here doesn't even make sense for a 5700 test because it's all the way down here. Some more slightly bullish market news today. Google is actually allowing ads for regulated crypto exchanges next month. And if you don't know, Google actually banned all advertising for cryptocurrencies, which of course this news caused a massive dump in Bitcoin's price as people were worried that new investors wouldn't be coming into the market. So this is bullish for the space overall, just to be able to advertise these exchanges. Let's go ahead and flip over to the Ethereum chart. Now, Ethereum is currently falling, and I did have some price targets to scoop up some Ethereum down here. We are actually bottoming out on the 4-hour RSI, and of course, Ethereum does follow with the overall Bitcoin trend, which is unfortunate. However, I am very, very bullish on Ethereum right now, as we have overcorrected again below this Kijun-sen, very similar to the Bitcoin pattern. But we're also supported by the SARs, which is going to post another dot up here. So we're very likely to actually move bullish on Ethereum. And I think it's definitely in a nice discount area for the next bull rally. And we could see the price resurge back up to 800 again, possibly even all the way up to 1400, 1200 in the next bull run, if not more. There's a lot of really good news coming out for Ethereum, especially that they're looking to increase the speeds of transfer, which will obviously make the coin a better choice for transferring in between exchanges, which I already do anyway. But if it's faster, it just means you get to capitalize on those trades faster, and I think a lot of people will be using that for transferring, which should increase the overall volume of Ethereum as well. So just a little off-topic thing today. I was requested to take a look at this ICO called Sidex. Now, while the website does pass the smell test and everything else, they do look okay. The project itself isn't really unique. There are a lot of projects that do these kind of data service exchanges for smart contracts. And essentially what they want to do is they want to sell research data on their marketplace and trade it with their cryptocurrency. Now, obviously the problem with this is there an actual demand for this in the science community? Personally, I don't think so, not enough so that it would merit making an entire cryptocurrency database for it. That's obviously my personal perspective on it. The entire project aside, because as I've said before, in the crypto space, there are a lot of ICOs and a lot of coins in general that claim to do these massive things for the world. But in practicality, they're very unlikely to actually fulfill those goals. So their prices are obviously just based on people who believe in the project. But that being said, as an investment, I don't ever recommend investing in ICOs, as soon as they list onto the exchange, they normally dump their price pretty heavily, and I've seen a lot of people get burned from this. The second they list on an exchange, that price starts dropping immediately because all of those bag holders who want to capitalize on their investment sell out immediately at market price, and you're stuck racing against them to get your funds from the wallet to the exchange to sell it quickly. Now, just to emphasize this point, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Cloak. So Cloak was an ICO. As soon as it listed at about 0.0028 within the first day. In fact, within the first 30 minutes of listing on the exchange, you can see that it fell down almost 30% as soon as it listed. In fact, if I go down to an earlier time frame, you can see this probably happened within the first 5 minutes. So as I've said, if you're going to look at supporting a project from an ICO, I would wait for it to launch on an exchange and wait for the dip to finish before actually buying into this position, as it's always better to scoop up an ICO down here at about a third of the value. If we go all the way down here to the relative bottom, yeah, that's half the value of the actual ICO price. And if you had invested in this, you'd be stuck bag holding, which is again obviously how they built a lot of the support for these coins. But this coin here just continued to fall after listing, continued before it finally hit bottom and started a nice resurgence. Now again, I have seen this time and time again with ICOs. I also don't think this is particularly a good time to be entering into the ICO season. Flip back to Bitcoin here, flip back to the daily chart. A lot of the ICOs were actually started either in this bull trend here, in these elongated pumps that lasted almost a month. This is where most of the ICOs started. Now with this small range trading here, a lot of the ICOs actually aren't reaching their funding cap, and you will basically be losing your money if they don't actually get to list to the exchange. So I really don't recommend investing in an ICO right now. But one other thing I do want to address here, again, that I addressed in my previous video as well. Look at this range. You can see this price range fluctuating from here to here has just been getting smaller and smaller and smaller, indicating that we're getting ready for a really nice big breakout. Very likely to move into a bullish rally for the rest of the year. If you're going to invest in an ICO, I would wait for a bull trend so you can actually guarantee that they're going to get listed and you don't lose all your money. Second thing, people in the US, actually, unless you're an accredited investor, you can't invest in an ICO. So this only applies to people overseas. This is obviously based on the Know Your Customer laws. But just to summarize before I wrap this video up, I do think the magic number right now that we should be targeting is around 62.90. And at the very lowest, it would be 62.25 support. I think this is the price to be looking at. I think this is the price to be setting some longs at, as I think right now we are actually starting into a very long bull trend. And that's it for today's technical analysis. If you do make any trades today, I wish you luck. Please join me in my free Telegram at t.me/CryptoSnakePit, where I give up-to-the-minute updates on Bitcoin and my personal exits and entries for the private VIP group. Also included is our private VIP chat, where you can chat with many of our experienced savage traders, get personal technical analysis from me, and answer any questions you might have. This is CryptoSnake, signing off.